Mr. Transformers 96 here for the video, and I'm going to talk about some newly shown Marvel Legends figures. This time it's going to be the Build-A-Figure of the new Fantastic Four wave being the superior, the Super Skrull. So quite excited for this new figure to be shown. There's a Comic-Con going on, which is kind of yielding a lot of new figures being shown from Marvel Legends and other toy companies as well. So I will be making separate videos about most of the stuff being shown. Demo Goblin, Strongman, I'm going to be making a video on them. But for now, I'm going to be talking about Super Skrull. So overall, I am a fan of the Super Skrulls. I like the Skrulls just in general, but the Super Skrull is always a really unique concept where he can kind of capture the abilities of the Fantastic Four into one person. He has like an adaptation where he can kind of take their powers a bit. So I think that's quite neat. I will be kind of talking about the full wave itself kind of here, but just going over the Super Skrull himself. Overall, I have a very similar reaction to this that I do with the Demo Goblin figure, which is it's a really cool looking figure. It's a character that I very much like. I'm all for it in that respect. But when it comes to a Build-A-Figure, it's a little lackluster, to be honest. It's just he's not very large. He's, your kind of standard size figure for the most part. I think that he's using a slightly larger body sculpt because you can see the thighs are pretty big there, almost like a Venom style size body, which is not like huge or anything. It's a little bit bulkier than your average figure, but not much. And then the one thing that kind of saves him is that he comes with interchangeable arms and a secondary head, which is nice that he comes with some accessories, of course. However, for the most part, there's just not a whole lot there. I like what I'm seeing though. Like as far as the figure is concerned, he looks really good. I definitely I like the standard face sculpt where he's just kind of almost has like a bit of a smirk or a little. He has like a confident look at least. I like that. And then the secondary head is a full on smile, like about to attack type of face, which I like. I think that those are good expressions. The purple, I like the purple that they use. It's a very dark purple and it looks good on the black. And then as far as the secondary arms that are the most interesting arms, they represent all four of the Fantastic Four's powers. As you can see, his right arm is extended a little longer, kind of going with more of the Mr. Fantastic power with the fact that he can stretch, but it's also going invisible because it also has the Invisible Woman's power of, being invisible, obviously. And then his left arm is basically kind of the size and the bulk of the Thing. You can kind of see the kind of rock effect that it has. I like the way that it fades into the bicep so that you can see the transition point. I like that. And then it's obviously on fire for the Human Torch. So I do like the fact that you're representing all the powers, but I think that they could do it even better because it's the Super Skrull doesn't just restrict those powers to its arms, like it can do its whole body and everything like that. So I would have preferred maybe at least like a foot to be on fire, or at least like a leg to be going invisible and then a leg to be like catching on fire. Had they reversed it so that you have an invisible arm and then this leg starts to go invisible and then you have this arm on fire and then this leg is starting to have some fire effects on it. I think that would have been really cool just to like really show that he can do that. It's not just like the arms. So, like, had they added that stuff, this would have felt a little bit more, like, necessary as a Build-A-Figure. But, for what it is now, it's a little lackluster as a Build-A-Figure. As a regular figure, it's really cool. But as a Build-A-Figure, it's a little lackluster, I must admit, because I don't want the common arms, like, just the regular arms, I think are kind of useless. The only reason that I'd want those is to kind of build, army build the Skrulls, which would have been great, too. However, this is a Build-A-Figure, so it's not like people are going to be able to army build this. Had this been a regular figure in the wave, then you could army build it, that would make a lot more sense. So it's a little disappointing just based on the size. However, the character I think is great, and the figure overall looks good. I don't think that they went as far as they should have for the kind of powers that this character has. However, they do still represent them here, and overall, again, it looks like a nice figure. So just going over the entire wave, I think this is a really solid assortment. People have been wanting a Fantastic Four wave for the longest time, and we finally got that, which is great. And it's a very classic wave. You have your classic characters, however, they are in their most modern suits, which I think look good. I prefer the classic suits, but they've already done those as Walgreens exclusives, so I can't complain for them going with this style of suit. And then we have She-Hulk, again, another modern version of She-Hulk, which looks like a really nice figure. I've never been a huge She-Hulk fan, so this kind of gray version of her doesn't excite me too much character-wise, but the figure looks good. And then we have Doctor Doom, who I'm a big fan of. I love villains, and he's as classic of a Marvel villain as you can get, basically. And then the Super Skrull is awesome as well, but again, I think that he's a little lackluster to be the Build-A-Figure. Either I wish that they went just like more extreme with him and gave him just some crazier accessories. What actually would have been cool is that if he did not come with an interchangeable head and he didn't come with interchangeable arms, and instead this figure was just a regular figure in the wave, and then this was the Build-A-Figure, but he had legs that had more massive and crazier kind of effects, and maybe an interchangeable torso extension to also extend his torso to make him taller. So to also show that he's like using the stretching kind of power that he has. So that would have been cooler. That would have made him feel more like a Build-A-Figure. It would have also allowed you to army build this version of Skrull as well. So it would have just been kind of a win-win in my opinion. But overall, I think that this is a good wave overall. Do I plan to get it? I don't know if I'm going to get them all. I want Doctor Doom. The Fantastic Four would be cool to have, although I have the Thing already, like the original Thing. And the only difference with him is that instead of the black in his pants, it's just blue. So to be honest, I really don't have any need for the Thing. So I wouldn't mind just grabbing his Build-A-Figure pieces separate. Same thing with She-Hulk. I just don't need her, so I'd be fine grabbing her Build-A-Figure pieces separate. But I would like to get Doctor Doom, Reed Richards, Sue, and Johnny, just to get those four, and then buy the Build-A-Figure pieces separate for the Thing and for She-Hulk. That's probably what I'll end up doing. But there you go. That's my thoughts on the Fantastic Four wave as a whole, as well as specifically the Build-A-Figure being the Super Skrull. Let me know what you guys think of them, and thanks so much for watching.